I was a direct support staff, and that was back in the late 70s, and we had the old work activity centers. We did a lot of pre-vocational types of work. We did some life skills training, all very facility-based. And then the agency kind of merged some little small sites of service into a larger service site, and we became a larger facility-based service site. The best change, I think, has been in the types of services that we provide. I mean, it's more community-focused now. There's more options for services. People do a lot more in the community. It's getting them out a lot more, which is the good part. One of the biggest changes is going from state funding, which is pretty open in what we could do, to the very prescriptive Medicaid waiver funding. Prescriptive in a lot more documentation, and just, identifying specific goals and working only on those. I think part of that in the process, we lost some spontaneity to take advantage of community things that might be happening. If it wasn't in their plan or was something that they should be doing, then it couldn't be done in some respects. So it changed what was done with the individual. There's one very special lady. She grew up with her family. Then when her parents died, her name was Helen. She was put in Muscatatuck, an institution. And then in the late 70s, they began to move them from the institution. Some of them went to nursing homes, and she went into a nursing home. At that point in time, she became part of our service system. And she said she always wanted to have her own place. That was her dream. So at that point in time, later years, group homes came to be and residential services came to be. And the old supported independent living program started. So we were able, with a lot of effort, to eventually get her into an apartment that we supported her, and she had a roommate for a while. Then she wanted to have her own place, in which she finally did live by herself with staffing support, and that to me was what it was all about. Education at that point in time, there was no 94-142 rule. So I think she had trouble in school, she was pulled out, she was kept at home. They lived on a farm. She helped take care of the farm, in essence, help with her family. And then when her siblings moved on, she took care of her parents until she couldn't anymore. They passed away, and then no one wanted her. Not that she had behaviors, but where do you put people like that at that point in time? So they were put in institutions. And she really wasn't that mentally impaired. She had some other issues, and she had a bit of a speech problem. But today, no, that wouldn't happen to her at all. I think with speech therapy and schooling, she would probably be in competitive employment today. That's how much has changed. And then when they closed Muscatatuck, we took the last 3 out of there into our supported living program, as that was closed down. So we were a big part of that in our community, and getting those out of there. And that was good. I've seen to me, that was one of the best of things that could have happened to them. The way they changed when you're in a large setting of many people, and now you have a setting of a few. The behaviors of hoarding and doing those things slowly go away over time, and it's just great to see them just be like us. Have your space, have your stuff. You don't worry about someone coming and stealing anymore. So yeah. I think trends for the individual, I'm hoping we're moving to where it's more engagement in the community. I mean, we have supported living programs, and we take them out to the grocery store, we take them to an activity or to a high school game, but we don't engage them in relationships in the community. And I'm hoping that we see more of a connecting with people in the community, not just being in the community. Establish some relationships and friendships, so maybe the neighbor will take them to the ball game, staff won't be taken to the ball game. Agencies have a role to train staff to understand what that means. Most of them don't have that kind of structure in their own lives sometimes. I think the role of agencies will be more of training in that arena, maybe more friends of family, more family providing services, and just working in those relationships.